Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix. This is going to be your daily tarot and astrology reading for the weekend of September 14th and the 15th of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I am making this video a little bit early just because I'm not going to be able to make it Friday night, so I'm going to go ahead and make it Thursday night. That's why I'm wearing the same shirt for both videos. So, in any event, let's go ahead and hop into this reading for the weekend. See what we have going on with the cards. See what we have going on with the astrology. See how you can be better prepared to navigate these wild times. I have the Knight of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Wands in reverse. So there could be a little bit of impatience this weekend as far as wanting to get things done. I don't think it's per se a bad thing that this card is reversed, but it does speak to wanting to get things done, wanting to act and move forward, but maybe we can't be as impulsive as we want, or we have to just make sure that the actions that we are taking make sense. Because the Knight of Wands does kind of want to just rush right into things, not quite like the Knight of Swords, but it's about, you know, are we passionate about it? Is our heart in the right place? We have to ask ourselves those questions this weekend. We have that followed by the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this is actually very positive. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse is not a bad thing. It just, I see this more as delayed fortune and delayed, um, gratification, if you will. Whereas the Knight of Wands kind of just wants it now. But there, like I said, there's a level of impatience here. But if we can be patient, but continue to put in the work, continue to put in the effort, then there's going to be a big payday there, whether it's an actual payday or maybe it's a payoff in your relationship or a project that you're pursuing. This can definitely be a very, very nice thing. So I really do like that to start off the reading. And then I'll draw one more card too because it is for the whole weekend. I do have the Six of Pentacles also upright. So yeah, I think this is about, knowing where to give our energy and knowing where to be a little bit more reserved. We don't want to we don't want to give energy to places that there's not going to be much growth there. You know what I'm saying? So that can be relationships, that can be a job, that could be a project. The Six of Pentacles does speak to kind of giving. It usually shows someone like, giving like coins, like giving coins to people that are needing it, like charity and stuff. But I'm seeing this more as like, just know who to give your energy to, know what to invest your energy into, because, that will, I guess, determine this whole Ten of Pentacles energy. So I think that I felt like this is almost like the precursor to it, is knowing who and what to give our energy to, so that when we really do start to pursue things like with that Knight of Wands, we will have that Ten of Pentacles moment. We will have that moment where we are feeling good, we're feeling valuable, we're feeling secure in who we are, where we are, what we have. But there is a bit of a delayed gratification with this sort of thing. So if you're wanting instant gratification, if you're wanting instant success, this is not going to be the weekend for you. This is definitely going to come down to being patient and knowing who and what to invest your energy into, right? Now, astrologically, we do see that moon shift into Aquarius this weekend. It will have conjuncted Pluto early in the morning on Saturday, the first of the last three times that any of us will ever see the moon conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Again, of course, we've had Pluto in Capricorn for a while. It's been in Capricorn for quite some time, and now for like the last 16 years. And now it's going in and out of Aquarius, oscillating between those two energies. And, this is going to be the last hurrah. So, one of the last times that we'll see the moon conjunct Pluto. But the moon will go into Aquarius, which I think will bring a bit of a lighter energy, even though it is fixed. Whenever the moon goes into Aquarius, though, we do have a tendency to emotionally detach from things, which can be positive from the aspect of like, maybe we need to emotionally detach so we don't get as emotionally invested, and we can kind of take a little bit more of like that, overhead look. Aquarius is the sky, so we can kind of take that look from overhead and can kind of give us like a clearer and better perspective, if you will, from like an emotional standpoint, because we're going to be reacting, responding, and more so that way. Now, we will see the moon, of course, on this day make some quincunxing energies. It's going to make a quincunx over to Mars here at 5 degrees. It's also going to make a quincunx over to Mercury today at 8 degrees. Not quite a yod because Mercury and Mars are separated by 3 degrees, but we will see those energies come together. So, once again, the moon in Aquarius emotionally reacting, responding more in Aquarian like way. So maybe a little bit cool, maybe a little bit more detached, but maybe trying to come up with creative solutions and being a little bit more innovative in the way that we think. Mars in Cancer, definitely one of those energies where it's like, I'm not going to really act on something or do something if I don't really feel good or if I feel up to par. There's an awkward energy here too where maybe that moon in Aquarius can kind of help us to detach a little bit, especially if it means by the time that we get to the quincunx over to Mercury, which will actually happen at 6 degrees or 9 degrees, excuse me, not even 8 degrees, it'll happen at 9 degrees. you know that can open up that realm to where it's like, now that Mercury is going faster, now that it's out of its shadow, we can start to think new thoughts and everything like that too. Have like a little bit more of a game plan, and then that moon quincunxing over it, yeah, it may make things a little bit weird as far as trying to connect the dots with that game plan. And also, what do we take the actions on? Going back and remembering the first part of the day when it made the quincunx over to Mars. This is about like how can we integrate taking these actions that, yeah, maybe they don't necessarily feel the best, but maybe we can kind of emotionally detach a little bit, especially if it's something that is within our spiritual integrity, especially if it's something that we know we need to do, especially if it's something that will propel us into the future, right? It will actually have us take a step forward, right? It would, like, especially with the Mercury part, it's like, yeah, maybe making the plan or actually planning something may feel a little bit weird, or writing it out may actually feel a little bit weird, but it's probably the right thing to do. I think that's really what it comes down to. That's why I said there's a level of patience that needs to be had with this energy, especially here on Saturday, based off of the cards that I've drawn, right? And like I said, this is like a general reading too, right? So this is for all the signs. The other thing that we have to consider too on this day is that the sun is going to be in quincunx to Chiron, right? And you know, 22 degrees, 2 plus 2 is 4, very Uranian. Saturday is going to be a very Uranian Aquarius like day, like energetically. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, Aquarius is a bit weird. It's a bit quirky. Sometimes it can be a bit aloof too. And a quincunx over to Chiron, it's like if you don't know who you are, then it's going to be tough to integrate some of these lessons if you are claiming victimhood, if you're claiming, like, woe is me all the time, and you can't really see, your role in all this too. And I think that's a part of it. It's like, it's like, well, where's my role in this? Where can I take some personal responsibility? Where can I take some personal accountability? That's a callback in many ways to the moon having conjuncted Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn earlier in the day. But that's the thing. You don't want to just try and push it all on it's their fault or it's their fault that I'm this way. Where can we be a little bit more personally accountable here too? And also, Virgo is habits, right? So it's like maybe we have to look at our habits. Maybe we have to look at, it also deals with health too, right? So a coin comes over to Chiron and Aries too. Would not be surprised if people experience headaches today, being that Aries does rule the head. And especially if you're like two in the clouds too, with the moon in Aquarius, we can have our head in the clouds very much so. But it's one of those days, like I said, people may experience a little bit more headaches, just from like a physiological standpoint, especially if they're thinking too much, but they're not coming up with solutions, or they're not writing things out. If they stay trapped in their head, if they're not communicating these things that they're feeling, and they're just staying in their head. They're staying in their head the whole time. They're too emotionally detached, and they're like too aloof, and they're too just to themselves. Then you're gonna find that trying to hold all that energy in is not going to really give you the best results. So there's a so yeah, we do have to give our energy to something. We can't just hold on to it all today. So you don't want to be an emotional or energetic hoarder today, right? but you want to sort of kind of detach a little bit, or at the very least get that fresher perspective, so you can look at things and you can probably see, like with that Ten of Pentacles in reverse, like, oh, maybe things are a lot better than I realized. Maybe this is setting me up. Even like the worst kind of situation where something might have happened to you, maybe you realize that a job wasn't for you or a relationship wasn't for you, and it can definitely seem in the moment pretty shitty. But then you get that fresher perspective, and you're like, you know what, maybe this is for the best, right? Maybe this is for the best. Let me draw some cards for Sunday. I do have the Seven of Wands in reverse. This is nice. This means that there's no need to fight or quarrel. There's no need to, I guess, hold a certain position or hold your ground here. You don't have to feel like you're having to defend yourself from anybody. You know what I'm saying? That is going to be followed by the Knight of Swords. So it does seem like Saturday is the day where we're kind of like, we kind of have to bide our time, and then Sunday's going to be the day where we actually maybe move forward and take some kind of action. The Knight of Swords is wanting to kind of rush into things, kind of wanting to like get the ball rolling, get the ball moving, if you will. Final card, as far as that goes, the Two of Swords. So I think that's this is kind of coming in and telling us like, wait, hold up, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Yes, you don't have to necessarily fight anymore. And yes, that may inspire you to want to rush into things and move forward, but there's gonna be a bit of a checkpoint here. This is like I don't know. It does feel like a bit of a troll. I'm not gonna lie. It's like feeling like this nice release where you can actually move forward, but then you hit this checkpoint. It's like, okay, answer this riddle. And that's kind of what the Two of Swords is feeling. That's the way I'm kind of channeling it. It's like you're going to kind of get to this moment on Sunday where you're going to be kind of inspired to actually move forward and take some sort of action. Be like, it's like, all right, cool, let's go. And then it's like, well, he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, cool your jets, relax, answer this riddle for me. Final overall card, I have the Ace of Cups in reverse. I don't think this is a bad thing. I really don't think this is a bad thing with the Ace of Cups in reverse. I think it just means that we need to be a little bit more cognizant of our emotions this weekend and just a little bit more aware overall. And just, maybe we just go into more of an observation mode instead of just being impulsive and just acting on the emotions as much. Astrologically, as far as like Sunday goes, we will see quite a few things actually happen on this Sunday. One, and it's already starting to form here, as you can see, Venus will be entrine to Jupiter. In fact, it will be involved in a grand air trine, right? So we do get a grand air trine between the Moon, Venus, and Jupiter. Nice, very beautiful energy with this. Anytime you get grand earth trines, it's very, very powerful. It can be any grand trine in general, whether it's air, earth, fire, water, it can be very, very healing. Venus is in its strength in Libra. Jupiter and Gemini, yeah, it's not in its strength. But then you have the Moon in Aquarius, so this can help us to hopefully get on the same page with some people too. Maybe try and find some common ground with that Moon in Aquarius. Maybe being able to relate to people that we believe is way out there or foreign, And then Venus is trying to balance all that and trying to find a solution. So this is a nice energy here. We also will see that Moon make a sextile over to Chiron. So it does, in many ways, create a kite, right? Because now you have Jupiter sextiling Chiron, the Moon sextiling Chiron, and then you have Venus here, all within a couple of degrees. So we have a grand air trine kite on Sunday. Whenever I think of a kite, I think of like being able to get lifted off or flying in the air and stuff. So I think, maybe this whole weekend, the way that kind of builds up from Saturday into Sunday, is trying to get our kite up into the sky, trying to get this thing to fly. And maybe there are some roadblocks, maybe there are some checkpoints, but it's all about what you're giving your energy to, the needless fights that you may be experiencing that you don't really need to have anymore. Yes, you can kind of move forward into things, and you want to experience these things with that Knight of Swords, that Knight of Wands there in reverse, but there are still some checkpoints. There are still some moments where we have to really ask ourselves the important questions too. We will see, of course, that Moon in quincunx to the Sun at 23 degrees as well. So it's like, yeah, we may emotionally detach, but we still need to consider the reality of things with that sun in Virgo. And we got to remember that we are just a few days away at this point from the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is going to be a massive, massive lunation. So I think it can be a great weekend for just, you know, it's going to be one of those weekends where we kind of have to take things step by step. And I think it could be a great weekend for inspiring us to see what's really possible. Um, and, we got some nice little things along the way with the trines and stuff like that, too. But we will see that, it's going to be an interesting weekend, that's for sure. The weekend is usually where the news goes to die. But we may see some interesting things just come out just over the weekend in general. And honestly, a lot of the weekends is when a lot of interesting things come out lately. I don't know if you noticed, just like news wise, but a lot of stuff happens like on the weekends, like low key. Um, but I think it can be very, very positive, especially with a grand air trine kite happening on Sunday here as well. Can really start to reveal and show us what we can do to lift up our lives, to kind of make it lighter and brighter, figure out where our vibe is. Aquarius is all about the vibe. It's two sine waves on top of each other, right? So it's about vibration. Who do you vibe with? And that's about emotions. Like, so who do we emotionally vibe with? That's what this whole weekend's about with that moon going into Aquarius. Where's your vibe? Pluto's not in Aquarius right now. This gives us an opportunity. There's nothing else in Aquarius, just the moon. So it's like, where's your vibe? It's giving us that pure energy. It's not dealing with anything else there. So it's like, this is a nice opportunity. And we're only going to get this 3 more times. And then we'll be dealing with moon in Aquarius with Pluto in there for the next 20 years. So this is your opportunity to really figure out where your vibe is. This is your time to figure that shit out. So I have the card of realization. I don't even want to necessarily read it because I feel like this is that kind of a weekend, especially with a grand air trine and you're thinking of thoughts. I'm thinking epiphanies. Light bulbs are going to go off this weekend. This is the weekend where we start to realize what is really possible, or we realize what's really going on. But there's definitely something sparking off this weekend. Some type of light bulb is going off. And it could be anything from an awesome idea for a new project or you just getting clarity on the situation that you're going through. That's going to do it for your weekend tarot and astrology report. I trust that this message will assist you on your weekend. I appreciate you all joining me here. Y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on the next video, which will probably actually be the Mars and Cancer video that I plan on doing for the 12 signs. So y'all take care, stay blessed. I'll see you then. Peace.